Hey, it's been a minute. I've had a lot of things going on the last couple of months now, which has taken priority over filming, but now I'm back, and today we're going to talk about something I find really exciting, and that is organizing and editing your photos. And I know that sounds like sarcasm, but I think it's a really important thing to know. I think for a lot of beginner photographers, it can seem very overwhelming when you've been out shooting and then you come back and don't know what to do with all of your photos. So today I'm going to take you to my process and show you how you can get much better results in no time at all. Okay, so the majority of my pictures are taken on my camera. So when I'm finished with the shoot, I take the memory card out of the camera, plug it into my computer and transfer my raw files over to an external hard drive. I am organizing my photos by year, so it's easy to find later. And then I make a new folder with the date. Then I make another folder with the raw images. And here I move all my photos. So now my photos are moved over from my camera to my computer. I would suggest you empty your card every time you have been out on a shoot. Then it's much easier the next time you go on a shoot. You will be there with blank slates and an empty card. And then you don't have to be afraid of losing any old photos that you have stored on the SD card in your camera when you're out shooting. This is the system I use. It's not a particularly complicated system, but it works for me, and the most important thing is you find a system that works for you so you can find your pictures later if need be. So the next step is importing all the photos you want to edit into your editing software. I would recommend everybody, both beginner photographers but also professional photographers, to use Lightroom. It is what I use and it's the best tool I have used for photo editing. It can be a little bit pricey, so if you need a free option, I would either suggest looking at the Lightroom mobile app and then edit on an iPad or a cell phone, or look at GIMP, which is also a free editing software that you can use. And now I can start the first round of culling my images. The way I do it is I find the photos that potentially can be good photos, and that includes both aesthetically pleasing photos and also memorable photos. And then I import only those. And now comes the editing part. I know this can be very intimidating for a lot of new photographers, but I'm gonna give you a couple of pointers to get you started. As many other things, photo editing also goes under the 80-20 rule, which means that 20% of the effort makes 80% of the finished result. And now I want to show you like my 20% for getting 80% of the finished results when I edit my photos. Here I have a landscape picture. The first thing I like to do is to go to the crop function and just see that my horizon is straight. This picture wasn't that bad, but I would like adjust it a little bit and maybe like this, just to get the image straight. And also if you wanted, for example, to get it in a standing format for like Instagram, then you could also do that in here. And that's also for like cropping out things you don't want to be in the composition and that kind of stuff. So the most important thing is like straightening your horizons and maybe centering your subjects in the composition, or putting them in the rule of third or something like that. If you want to learn more about compositional theory, I would suggest checking out one of Pat Kay's videos, which I will link over here, where he goes in depth about photography, compositions, and the theory behind it and that sort of stuff. Next, I would suggest looking at the white balance, because white balance can determine if your pictures look very cold or very warm, very green or very like magenta. So the important part here is to get your whites right. So your whites look white and not yellow or blue or green or magenta. So here in this photo is straight out of the camera. It's very blue. So I think I want to turn up my a little bit more towards yellow, not to lose the blue completely, because I want it to feel like a cold picture, but I also want to highlight the fire here. So you can see that different already, what a little bit on the slider will do to the photo. And if I was to move the slider over to green or over to magenta, you would see the picture start looking really weird. So I think I want to keep it at where it is and just move the blue and yellow slider this time. So there, I think that looks nice. The next step is just tweaking your basic adjustments. And you can see down here you have all of these settings that you can tweak, but I would in the beginning just stick with the basic adjustments, and you can do so much in just this one panel. So usually what I do is maybe push the shadows a little bit up, get some of those details back from the shadows, pushing the highlights down. Also again, just to get some details back from the highlights. And don't worry, we're gonna add some contrast again later, but just for now we want to see how much information we can get out of the picture. Also, I think I want to put in a little bit of crop here just to center the kettle a little bit. Then you can, for example, boost the exposure a little bit to make it brighter, and pull the blacks a little bit down, pull the whites a little bit up, and maybe just add some contrast and a little bit of clarity. You never want to go all in on the clarity slider because it quickly can start looking very harsh. So, but just a little bit, around 10 maybe. So already now you can see the difference between the before and after picture, right? As a bonus tip, I want to show you how you can make your subject really pop in the frame, because your eye automatically goes to the brightest part of the picture. So you want to boost the exposure a little bit only on your subject and maybe not the whole picture. So here I will pull down the highlights a little bit, get some information back from the reflection here. But then you can make like a radial gradient or circular filter, whatever it's called in your editing software. And you can pull it over the subject itself. And here I have quite a lot of feathering just to smooth out the transition. The red is just to show where you have put your filter, and then you can boost your exposure where your subject is, and maybe your shadows a little bit, and also maybe darken the rest of the image a little bit. And see there, just this minor edit, and it like makes the subject really pop out of the picture. And also here I want to do the same thing. Let's see the before and after now. The before and after with just like minor tweaks here. Let's see on this one as well. And there you go. Before, after. Just with some simple steps in the editing. When you're finished with your edit, you can mark all of your photos and then export them to wherever you like. And when you have edited your photos and exported them, you need to find a place for your photos to live. I like to use Instagram. Then you have like a curated feed where you can post all of your best photos and also share them with others. But if you don't want to share your photos with the rest of the world, you can, for example, make a folder on your computer and add your best photos there. When you have a photo you're really happy with, print it. It will give you so much joy to hang your own art up in your own home in a nice frame. Or you can gift it to others if you want to. And that's it. Now lean back, enjoy your freshly organized and edited photos. If this process works for you, let me know in the comments below. And if this video was helpful, please leave a like, it really helps out the channel. And as always, you will never regret having a good photo of a great time in your life. See you soon. Bye.